Hey, good morning. Hello, and welcome. Hang on, is it up here? Oh, we'll see if it's working on this one. Cool. Well, welcome, guys. Welcome to some morning yoga with Janelle. Today is our Yin Yang Day, Mondays and Fridays. I thought that'd be a great way to start the week and end the week. I try to bring some variety to my classes by offering some different classes throughout the week. So it's not always your typical vinyasa flow. It's not like we do the same thing every class. I actually work pretty hard to have every class be a little bit different. Of course, we're working with some of the similar poses. And so there's obviously, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel every time, but there's so many fun things and so many different options we can do this morning. So, well, hey, good morning, Donna. Welcome. Great to have you with me. So Mondays and Fridays are yin yang style. We move a little bit slower. We just kind of get going a little bit. We get a little bit of movement in to really kind of warm up the body so that when we settle down and stretch for more of that restorative, we can actually safely get into some of those deeper muscles. We can enjoy a few longer holds. And if you're a little bit warmed up, you don't quite have to really hit that end range of the time frame all the time. You can actually get a little bit deeper, a little bit quicker. So it includes a few more poses, which I kind of like, but so that's what we were working on this morning. So if you're just noticing, I did a live video. Today's yin yang. Roll it about, find a little bit of space if you can, and let's do some yoga together. Hey, not on camera. I don't know if they can see you, but no. Thank you, puppy. And if you can see her, here's my dog's little tail here. She's laying here to support us. She's doing much better. If you were worried about me checking on her the other day, she's doing good. She's a happy little dog. All right, let's yoga. Are you ready? Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to start in a seated position. If you want to start laying down, seated on a stool, still sitting on your couch, debating whether or not you're actually going to do this class or not, feel free to start with wherever you're at. I love to get going just with some awareness of the body. So maybe you're seated, maybe you feel into those sits bones, start to be able to feel that feedback of the nice hard floor that you might be sitting on, or even if you're on the couch or whatever, you can still feel into your sits bones. It's the act of feeling into it that we're starting to become aware of. And so even if you're laying down, let's roll those shoulders back and down. Let's take a nice big inhale breath. Breathe out nice and tall. Exhale, let it go. Inhale one more time, nice and tall. Big breath. Fill the lungs, fill the belly, breathe into the abdomen. And exhale, start to release. Notice how here we're already starting to fix our posture. We're already starting to lengthen in our spine. We're already starting to find some openness through the chest just by taking a couple of breaths in our lungs or into our abdomen, really having those nice big belly breathings. And so continue on with those as I continue talking here. And that'll get you more into some of that space and keep working with the body. But I just want to shine some light on awareness and the power that awareness really has on us, whether we're becoming aware of the body, becoming aware of a situation. I really like a story that I heard from a conference I was at. To be honest, I can't even remember, but the story has stuck with me. It's all about kind of prejudging a situation. And there's this dad on the bus, or like a metro line or whatever you want to think of, and he's got kids, and he's just sitting there staring out the window, totally zoned out, not with it at all. His kids start off pretty good, and they get a little stir crazy as time goes on, and then they start getting out of their seats, and now they're running up and down the aisles, and the other people on the bus are like looking at this kid and looking at his dad, being like, "What is wrong with you? Like, get over yourself. Like, control your kids. Like." Whatnot. No one is really saying anything, but you can feel the tension on the bus rising. And Dad's still just staring at the window doing his own thing. And now the kids are being really disruptive. They're getting really loud. They're starting to talk and touch other people. You know how kids can be. Finally, someone says something to him. "Dude, your kids are all over the place. Take control of them." The guy looks up at them and says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. My mother just passed away and I don't know how to tell them." Oh, as soon as I heard that, the knife went in, everything twisted, and I was like, now I have so much compassion for this guy. And it's so interesting, once you have the full picture of a scenario of what's going on, how you respond to it can be completely different. And so that's really, like, that story stuck with me because I am a hot, fiery, jump off the handle kind of person. That's not really who I want to be. I don't want to be reactive to different situations or different environments that I'm in. I want to be able to, okay, don't put myself in someone else's shoes, or let's look at the bigger picture and see what's going on. And so that is my challenge. That is my story, my little life lesson. I was reminded of that Neil and I had a wonderful chat this weekend. I'm trying to organize a personality test thing, and so we've been chatting a lot about our personalities and how we notice different traits in our personalities coming out at certain times, and how we can become the master of those. So that's my 2 cents for you. Have compassion, try to see the big picture, and that all starts with some awareness of what's going on. So let's practice that. Beautiful. Oh, did my mommy make it this morning? Good morning, mommy. Oh, it's so good to have you with me. Let's get into a little bit of movement. Let's get our practice going. My dog is sitting on my phone, so I can't see the clock, but I'll just assume everything is going wonderful and good time-wise. All right, so wherever you are, if you want to set an intention for this class, go ahead and do so. I think that's a beautiful part of yoga practice, is starting to live with purpose and intent. And so what brings you to your mat this morning? How can you honor your body? How can you love yourself? Or just maybe smile at yourself and have a little moment of some self-love. So let's get moving here. If you are laying down, let's maybe start, or even seated, start to warm up through the body. Wiggle into fingers and toes. Maybe roll wrists and ankles, get some of those cracks and those pops out. Just waking up. If you want that nice good morning stretch, just go ahead and take it, reaching the arms up overhead. If you're laying down, maybe you can point through the toes. Nice big inhale here, super duper tall. And exhale, pull the hands through down to heart center, or just relax the hands along the hips. If you're laying down, now it's time to roll up and join us in seated here. So let's take a nice big inhale breath, breathe it in real big. Exhale, let it go. Let's take 2 more of those real big inhale breaths. Inhale through the nose. Fill the lungs, not just the lungs, start to breathe into that abdomen. And exhale, see if you can exhale through the nose, nice and slow. That forces the breath to slow down. Letting it out. Let's take 1 more of those giant inhales, breathing in. And exhale nice and softly, either through the nose or through the mouth, or a little ujjayi breath. Starting to feel some warmth through the breath. Excellent. Let's continue with those nice big inhales and exhales, but let's bring the arms into it. So for those inhales, let's sweep those arms up, really reaching nice and tall all the way up. And exhale, pull the hands through down to heart center. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, pull it down. 1 more time. Reach it up. Oh, so tall. Let's hold here. Really reach. Let's bring awareness to the shoulders. Maybe roll those shoulder blades back and down. Maybe reach those fingertips up a little higher. It's okay if the shoulder blades reach back up. It's actually the job of the scapula to move with the shoulders. So keep reaching. Let's pull those lower ribs in and pull that core in nice and strong. If you want, you can link the hands, making this a little bit easier. Keeping them separate keeps this a little bit more challenging. As we tip over towards one side, so if your hands aren't linked, you have to use both arm muscles to keep the arm up. You can kind of cheat. It's not really cheating. You can make it more gentle by holding on to that lower hand. Opening up through that top shoulder, maybe twist or deepen through the stretch. Big inhale, reach. Exhale, come all the way back up. Keep those arms lifted. Bring awareness, ease into the shoulders. Maybe even drop the shoulders just to pull them away from the ears or to extend the head up. Finding all that length through the spine. Engage through the core, and let's tip over towards the opposite side now. So maybe you're really reaching, feeling that side body stretch through the ribs. Reach a little more. Maybe you sink a little deeper. Let's open up through that top arm. Excellent. Keep reaching. Then come all the way back up. Reach, reach, reach. And pull the hands through heart. Beautiful. Coming back nice and strong. Let's take one more little round of those. Inhale, reach up. Oh, so tall. And this time reach it over and drop that bottom arm, coming into a little more gentle variation. A little bit more where we can feel the stretch. Look at my body's already craving a little motion. The little pulse I've been adding in here. If you're used to always doing the static, maybe try the pulse. I'm just kind of adding a little motion. I like to think of just reaching a little farther, finding that edge and working with that to deepen and lengthen through those muscles. Beautiful. If you want to just hold it, you're more than welcome to as well. Sometimes that feels really nice. And hand can be up, elbow can be down, hand can be on a block, hand can be real close to the body, whatever feels best. All right, let's come all the way up. And take our little moment here. Notice the difference between left and right. Feeling that little stretch already. And tip things over. Drop that bottom arm down. First thing in the morning, I can really feel the difference between my left and my right side. My right side, I swear, is twice as tight. And first thing here, because I don't get up extra early to practice before this. I really don't. So I'll just be gentle with you guys. Feels good. Keep opening up through that top arm. Keep maybe reaching that arm a little farther. Enjoy the little pulse. Take some time here. Let the muscles do their thing to lengthen. Maybe releasing that tension. Excellent. Enjoy a little moment of stillness. And then let's come all the way up. Reach it up. Pull the hands down. Hands to heart. Let's switch the feet, coming into opposite foot on top or in front or however you are sitting. You need to hang out. Still sitting nice and tall. Just take a couple little shoulder rolls, rolling them back. Really trying to squeeze the shoulders up by the ears. Excellent. Take a couple going forward. Just getting into the opposite way of the muscles. Forward always feels weird now because I keep rolling them back and down every day. So just kind of maybe feel some crunchy spots. Maybe you notice, like me, I've got no dance moves, I've got no coordination, so it's a little choppy going forward. I'm going to take a couple more back. Really trying to lift into those shoulders, to bring them up, making real big, nice circles. Maybe even think of it as a square. So lifting up at the front, journeying across, rolling them back, dropping them down, pulling them forward. Feel the different muscles that get used there. It's actually kind of a neat exercise to do, is to kind of break it into a box or a rectangle. Beautiful. Kind of give it a little shake out. That's really good. So let's actually just take another little arm stretch, reaching the arm across the body. Excellent. Maybe wiggle into fingers. Beautiful. I kind of miss doing yoga on Sundays. It's kind of hard because I have a morning routine that I'm not willing to give up on. My husband and I do church together and make some food and have a nice brunch. It's quite delightful. Let's stretch into the other side. And then usually by the evening I'm tired. So I never really know when to, I could do yoga in the afternoon, but usually if I'm doing something or, it's not consistent in my schedule. So I don't know how to schedule it. One thing I'm challenged with as well. All right, one more nice reach and stretch. Oh, feels great. Let's release. Feeling good through the shoulders. And let's come into a nice little twist. So I'm gonna just bring hands to heart center. Roll those shoulders back and down. Press into those sits bones. Get as tall as you possibly can. Feel that spine lengthening. And exhale. Twist over towards one side. Squeezing through that core. Maybe you're pressing into that back shoulder, trying to rotate it farther back. You're gonna drop those hands down, take a big inhale breath, make sure as tall as you can be. Lift through the heart, exhale, press into those hands, twisting a little deeper. Maybe you just look through, look over that back shoulder, engaging through the neck. Outstanding. Let's exhale, release, twist it. Bring the hands to heart center. Roll those shoulders open. Maybe you can press into those hands to really squeeze those shoulder blades back. And let's exhale, twist over towards the other side. Just twisting and squeezing, feeling all that magic happening. And drop those hands down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Beautiful. If you need to adjust your hands at any point, I find when I first start, my hand placement is kind of left and right of the knee, but as I start twisting, I can adjust and walk my hands a little bit deeper, pressing in and rolling that shoulder back, looking over that shoulder, just deepening the stretch, kind of all over. Feels really good. Nice big inhale, nice long through the spine, and let's exhale to release. And coming back towards center. Excellent. Oh, feeling so good already. Starting to feel a little openness through the hips, through sitting cross-legged here a little bit. Let's make our way into our tabletop position. I don't know about you, but I could use a little more movement through my spine. I'm feeling a little seized up this morning. So planting hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Trying to be like a nice flat table. Let's take a big inhale breath, start to look up, let the belly drop down, really press into those hands, extend long through the crown of the head, really lengthening, really pressing that belly button down towards the ground. And tuck the chin around through the spine, just really accentuating these first two, breaking up that connective tissue. It gets stiffer or fuzzy is kind of the best feeling to say it. So as we warm it up and stretch it, and the fascia starts to release and become more elastic. All right, moving at your own pace for that nice cat-cow breath. I'm going to take 3 full big ones, but I like mine super slow and very kind of exaggerated through. You might even be able to take 5 or 6 at your own pace, but see if you can connect the movement with the breath. So those inhales to look up, and those exhales to tuck the chin and around through the spine. I actually take an inhale and an exhale in each, but whatever. So my cow position in my inhale is exaggerated, my exhale is a little bit quicker. Just so I can have that extra bit of time. The end of that exhale is my transition. Feels so good. Oh, I just love these. All right, let's find our way nice flat back. Open up through those shoulders. Bring some awareness here. Press hard into the hands. See if you can bring your body up a little bit higher. Exhale. Drop those shoulders down. See if you can bring the chest as close to the floor as you can while keeping those arms straight. So just be aware of how the shoulders can lengthen and extend as well as shrink down and compress even in a posture. And so this is really handy for your downward dog. We're going to take a couple of these here. This is actually a great, I'm going to just walk my hands a slightly bit out just so I feel like I have a little some more room. I can put some more weight into my shoulders to feel this. So as I lower down and press it up. So this is how we can have alignment cues and how the pose can be different and feeling different for everyone. Because you say you're just hanging out all shrunken down and you're compressed. That might feel really stable and strong to you, but as you start to lengthen, maybe you don't feel as stable, so maybe you need to hang out somewhere in between there. As you're really kind of finding that end point, that end range, we often lose a little bit of stability. So just kind of a fun thing to play around with. That's why if you're always pushing to your max in every pose and posture, and if you're moving really fast, you have higher risk of injury. It doesn't matter what you're doing, whether it be yoga, gymnastics, any sport. All right, let's find our neutral. I'm gonna walk my hands back in, sit back on my feet. I'm gonna take a nice little child's pose. So I'm gonna bring my knees wide. That's what I'm feeling today. And keep the feet closer together. It's a nice little child's pose. We're reaching those arms forward. Let's try to keep the arms active here. And drop that head down. Feel that nice pull through the arms and through the shoulders. Maybe you can accentuate that motion actively, kind of pulling into the hands. Trying to bring the sit bones as far back as possible to accentuate that stretch through the shoulders. Maybe even reach your fingertips forward, pulling into the fingertips. And then you can exhale, switch it out, maybe start to push into the hands. Squeezing those muscles more along the spine. And then just let it go. Take a little moment. Rest the arms, rest the shoulders, drop that head down. Connect with that breath. Remember that intention. Beautiful. Let's press into those hands. And start to come up. Let's tuck those toes under. Take a little moment in a nice downward dog. So adjust the hands and feet as you might need to. Let's pedal out the feet. Starting to wake up some of that fascia in our legs. Maybe through our hips and our low back a little more. You can bend through the knees, press into those hands. You can even try that extending nice and long. You can even try shrinking your shoulders in, finding that compression, and then extending really long, finding all that length. That's the purpose of a downward dog, just to lengthen through the spine, through the back line of the body, all the way through the legs. Send those hips up nice and high. Really press into those hands, into those toes to lift the hips. Excellent. Let's look towards the front of the mat. Hop, step, jump, or tiptoe into a nice little forward fold. Letting the body hang heavy. Feeling more of that stretch of the back leg of the legs. And so nice big inhale, come up halfway. Nice flat back, roll those shoulders back and down. Exhale, bend the knees, sink those hips. Sweep those arms up. Nice little chair pose. Press all the way up to standing, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Excellent. Inhale, reach it up nice and tall. Little baby back bend if you want it. Maybe just tipping back slowly if we're not super warmed up. What our back and spine is, maybe they want a little more. All right, come all the way up. Hands to heart. Step those left toes back into a warrior one position. So it's almost like a high lunge. Hips stay forward, but back foot comes all the way down. And so you can adjust the angle of that back foot. Bring your hands onto the hips. Roll right hip back. Sink into that front knee. Press into the feet. Zip up those inner thighs. Feel nice and contained, controlled. So inner thighs zip up and in. Core pulls up and in. Belly button is pulling in. Keep pressing in. Let's inhale. Sweep those arms up if you want a little more. Sink a little deeper. Beautiful warrior one here. Hands can interlace. Take a nice big inhale. See if you can lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, strengthen and deepen. Nice and strong here. Beautiful. Let's start to bow it forward. Reach those hands back. Nice big sweeping motion. Inhale, sweep it up nice and tall. Beautiful warrior one. Let's take a couple of these. Bowing down, feeling that hinge at the hips. Inhale up. Exhale down, feeling a little warmth maybe through the legs here. Inhale, let's come all the way up. Reach those arms up. Exhale, drop those hands down. Straighten through the front legs. Press into those legs. Nice little pyramid pose here, so keep rolling that right hip back. Press into the feet. And maybe even lift your front toes, pressing extra into that heel. Just accentuating that hamstring stretch. Lift through the heart. Really get nice and tall. And then exhale, bow it down to wherever you come to. So maybe you are just warming up here and you feel like you're at your halfway point. You can drop those toes down, pressing into it. You can adjust your stance, bringing your feet closer together. If that helps, get more into that hamstring. That's ultimately the goal. It's not really about bringing your head down to anything. It's about leading with the heart, even pressing that heart forward. Feel how that lengthens, not just through the spine, but you might even feel that over the glutes, low back, and then more into that right hamstring. If you naturally lock into the knee, and bring some awareness into that, and pull that kneecap up. So activating into all of those tendons around the knee, protecting that knee joint. Excellent. And if you want more, you can reach those hands back behind you. Maybe even interlacing. Maybe just pointing. Feeling that openness through the shoulders. Beautiful. Bend through the knee. Let's come out nice and strong, pressing into that front foot. Sweep those arms up. Excellent. Sink into that knee. Beautiful warrior one. So strong. Exhale, release the hands. And then let's step towards the top of the mat. And taking just a quick little balance posture to work in with the feet. So squeeze those toes into your mat. Put your weight in your toes. Put your weight in your heels. Lift the feet up off the ground or the toes up off. And see if you can feel into the arches. Imagine dialing those knees outward, activating it into the sidelines of the legs, pressing firm into the foot. Let's lift left knee up. Finding your balance, finding your drishti point, staying nice and controlled. Beautiful. Open up the knee. External rotation and plant that foot wherever it feels like planting today. Above the knee, below the knee, maybe with a helping hand, you really pull that foot up into the nook. Excellent. Try to reach those arms out, finding your beautiful balance. When you reach those arms up, remembering to connect in with the breath and breathe. Pull those lower ribs and engage through that core. And let's stay nice and strong here. Reach it up. Excellent. And if you want more of a challenge, change where you're looking. Maybe the gaze comes up a little higher. Maybe you look up towards the ceiling. Or maybe you even close your eyes. Playing around real strong. One thing I also like to do is with this bent knee here, with your left foot, try to actively press it into your standing leg. See how you can lengthen and get a little taller there. Beautiful. You can reach out. Have a little dancing tree. All right, let's start to come out nice and steady, giving that standing leg a little break here. So unglue the foot. Bring the knee back forward. Drop it down. Exit. You can march it out or step it out to feel real good. All right, standing nice and tall. Let's inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more of those. Inhale, sweep it up. A little back bend available if you want it. Let's come on back up. Pull the hands down. And step right foot back. And coming into our warrior one. So foot plants. Adjust through the feet, bend through that front knee, bring the hands onto the hips to really roll the left hip back and find your stance. Let this feel really good. You should feel maybe a gentle stretch through that right quad. Nice and strong through the legs. Let's sweep those arms up. Big inhale breath, really reach. Exhale, engage the core. Press into the feet, pulling those inner thighs. So you have pushing out motion through the sidelines, the outsides of the foot, and through the toes and the heels, and then through the inner line of the legs. You're kind of zipping up and in, so you kind of got that friction, that tension of going both ways. Excellent. Arms reach up. Oh, so nice and tall. Let's exhale, bow it forward. Bring those fingers back. Feel that strength through the front leg. Inhale, reach it up. Beautiful. Exhale, bow it down. Reach those hands back. Inhale up. Exhale, bow it down. Nice and strong. Find that length. If you want, you can interlace. Feel that nice little stretch. Keep those feet oh so active here. Big inhale. And exhale, engage. Press into those feet. Beautiful. Let's sweep it up. Nice and tall. Really feeling that gorgeous stretch all through the body. Excellent. Let's drop our hands down. Straighten through that front leg. And keep rolling that left hip back. Keep pressing into that back foot. Beautiful. You can adjust the distance between the feet. Maybe bring them a little bit closer. Lift the heart. Get nice and tall. Like squeeze those shoulder blades back. Almost pulling the elbows back behind you. And then exhale. Feel that hinge from the hips. And as you bow forward ever so gently. Beautiful pyramid pose. Excellent. Feeling that nice pull on that left hamstring. Bringing awareness to that left knee. Maybe lifting that kneecap or squeezing the muscles around the knee. Extending long through the crown of the head. If you want more, you can reach those hands back behind you. Maybe even interlace them. Squeezing through the shoulder blades, opening up through the heart. It's a nice way to add a heart opener to almost any pose. Excellent. Take one more full round of breath here. Release. Bend through that front knee. Nice and strong. Little hips come all the way up. Reach those arms up. Nice warrior one. So good. All right, let's step towards the front of the mat. Stepping, bringing the feet together. Squeezing into the toes. Being aware of the heels, the arches, all the parts of the foot. Roll the shoulders nice and open. Lift through the heart. Excellent. Start to float right toes up. Finding your balance. When you've got that nice and strong, let's open up the knee and plant the foot into the leg. Feeling that strength coming into your variation of tree. Keep pressing hard into that standing leg. Let's see if you can get a millimeter taller. Really reaching, really lengthening. Maybe your arms come out. Maybe they come up. Maybe stand tall like a pencil. Keep pulling those low ribs in if your arms are up. So oftentimes they like to puff outwards. Oh, feeling good here. Excellent. All of that length, all of this nice balance. You want to play around with that balance, change where the gaze is at, even on this side. I can look up, but I can't tilt my head back. That's fun. Loving it. All right. Pressing firm into that right foot. See if you can activate into that right leg. Excellent. All right, let's start to come out of this with control. Let's unglue that foot. Bring the knee forward and step it down. You can march it out however you need to feel good. All right. Let's inhale. Scoop those arms up. Oh, so nice and tall. Exhale, pull the hands to heart. Inhale, reach out to the little back bend. Should you want it? Maybe you want a bigger back bend. Keep pressing into the feet. Push those hips forward. Come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. Let's inhale, reach it up. Oh, so nice and tall. Exhale, coming into your forward fold. So reaching forward, bowing down. Letting the head hang heavy. I'm going to take a nice little half forward fold here. And release it down. Excellent. Drop that head. Maybe give it a nice little shake. No. Beautiful. All right, let's journey down onto our mats. Let's inhale. Nice little halfway lift. Roll those shoulders back and down. Find that length. Exhale, bend the knees so you can plant the hands. Take that nice big step back into your downward dog. Push through those hands. Really lengthen. You can pedal at the feet if you want to activate into that back line a little more. I've been playing around with lifting one foot up off the ground here. Just for that extra little bit. You don't have to. You can just pedal it out or take the movement you want here. Beautiful. Let's drop those knees, coming into a nice child's pose. Knees can go together. Knees can go wide. Drop that head down. Melt into your mat. Feeling oh so good. I don't know if you can see my little doggy here. Why? You doing good? Yeah? How's your Shavasana going? She's doing yoga nidra, the sleeping yoga. You see. Beautiful. So we're going to hold this child's pose for about 7 to 10 breaths. So find a position that's comfortable. Maybe you even need a little block to help support you. Maybe you want your block underneath your head to have that connection with the forehead. Maybe you want it under your sits bones to help support you that way. I used to have, in the studio, we have these nice big fluffy bolsters that add pretty good feedback. I like to just hold on to one like a teddy bear and have it go lengthwise underneath me. That's supporting my sits bones and all through my front body. Feels really good. But that's okay. I miss my studio. That's what's happening. Excellent. I'm reaching for opposite elbows here, so if you want a little variation, if you always just reach your arms out, take a little moment, square your elbows off, trying to keep them shoulder distance apart, and then just drop your head either on your arms, or if you can reach them through, forehead connecting with the mat. Connecting with that breath. See if you can still fill the lungs here. This is our nice transition into that restorative version of the practice, the more yin style, to the yang, the flow, the movement. It's so interesting because I'm reading all these articles on active and passive stretching, and lots of them are in favor of more of that active stretch. But our yin practice is all about that passive, hold the pose. Like even here, I guess you could kind of add a little pulse into it, but there's really, I don't want to say no point. It doesn't feel as nice. It feels nice to settle in. But sometimes in this restorative, it's not really about stretching. It's not really about trying to lengthen the muscle, which is what like a stretch does, is lengthen. Sometimes it's about releasing tension. Sometimes it's about dealing with the mind and getting into positions that we can really start to work with that and get into the more meditative side of yoga. Even if you can choose what you meditate on, it doesn't have to be anything weird. I know yoga has a little reputation of being weird, being overly spiritual, but you can choose. You can choose to focus on joy. You can choose to focus on a God. You can choose to focus on yourself or getting into your own body and building that awareness, building that proprioception. It's your choice completely. And so enjoy the freedom and enjoy the challenge of maybe being with oneself. All right, let's start to come out of this, pressing into those hands, moving up nice and slow. I'm feeling this extra through the hips today. Oh, feeling good. I'll do some more hip openers here. Let's make our way into a seated position with the legs extended. So taking your time, moving nice and slowly, not rushing anything. Slow transitions are safe transitions. All right, extending the legs. We'll just start by extending them into that nice staff pose. Ooh, the floor is cold. All right, roll the shoulders back and down. See if you can just either place the hands alongside the hips and press in for that extra bit of height. Roll them down. Extend through those heels. You can even just keep a gentle bend through the knee. You can still have active feet even with knees bent here. If you've got really tight hamstrings, really sore low back, adding a little bend to the knees kind of takes some of that pull off of that. So feel free to explore that. And then as you maybe hold the pose and stretch it out, find some more length. There's no shame in doing something with knees bent. So even just keeping a gentle bounce to the knees. Let's activate through those toes, bring those toes up towards the ceiling, pressing out through the heels, pressing out through the toe pads, the bottoms of the feet, nice and strong. All right, let's see if we can lengthen a little more through the crown of the head, getting nice and tall. Maybe you're still pressing into those hands. If you want more through the core and through those back stabilizing muscles, those postural muscles, you can start to release the hands but keep that length. So bring the hands maybe onto the legs. And just nice and soft. Feeling that engagement as you pull the shoulders over the hips. Big inhale breath. Exhale, engage, nice and strong. Nice big inhale. And exhale, release. Beautiful. Let's start to bring those feet a little bit wider. Coming into our wide-legged seated stance. Keep lengthening, keep feeling into those sits bones. I love coming a little bit wider because I can actually feel into my sits bones a little bit better. I can feel into the edges a little more. Feet still nice and active here. Roll those shoulders back and down. If you need less from this position, you can bend one of your legs, coming into more of that half butterfly. That'll make that a little bit easier. We're going to start with the left leg. So if you bend your right foot in, you can still follow suit, but if you want a little more, keep both legs extended, pushing out through those heels. See if you've got external rotation, toes falling outward, bring those toes to neutral, or see if you've got internal rotation, toes falling inward. Even just take a little moment to play around with that, even if it's just the one foot. Just feeling that through the hip joint. So don't let this just be an ankle movement or a knee movement, feeling that all the way through that femur. Kind of neat. Just moving through. All right, finding that length. Feet still nice and active. Let's inhale, sweep those arms up. Oh, so nice and tall here. And let's exhale, align the shoulders with that extended leg. And then bow things down, coming into your version of a forward fold. So even if you just tilt the shoulders over the hips, that's still a beautiful forward fold. It's not really about how far and long you can reach your arms. And it's just about that nice hinge at the hips that happens. Maybe hold on underneath the leg. I like that. It's a nice anchor. You are working on actively pulling the body more closer towards the leg, just to kind of stabilize. Maybe you're walking the hands down the leg. Maybe you're reaching for those toes. Do toes and wrist, toes and ankle. Keep lifting through that heart, drawing the heart forward, not rounding through the spine. Often we get so desperate to have either our head connect with our leg that we just lose everything through the spine. So if you're hanging out here, let's take a little moment. Let's come back up, roll those shoulders back and down, and then lead with the heart, trying to bring the heart forward and then closer down. Excellent. Nice stretch, getting more into those hamstrings. Beautiful. We'll take 2 or 3 more breaths here, letting it settle in. So maybe you're finding that challenge where you feel like you need to fidget, where you really need to adjust the pose. Here's where that meditation, that brain yoga really starts, is do you actually need to move? Like, are you in pain? If you're in pain, please adjust. That is a huge thing. But if you're not, if you're just feeling like you need to fidget, ask yourself why. And see what kind of answer you get. Are you uncomfortable? Is there an emotion? Is there a memory? Is there doubt? Sometimes I used to, and I still, even here, I'm noticing it. I feel like I need to fidget because I feel like I'm bad at the pose. I feel like I have an expectation of what it should look like, and I'm not fulfilling it. And so, maybe if I adjust and wiggle this way, maybe I can get a little deeper. Maybe I will blah, 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 fill in the blank. And so maybe that's what you're going through as well. Just notice that. And your yoga doesn't have to have a certain shape. This is not Yoga Olympics. There's no grades at the end of class, not even from yourself. It's simply just enjoying the pose, the posture. And are you feeling it? Yes. Okay, check. Does it feel good? Yes. Okay, beautiful. That's it. That is all. Excellent. One more nice big breath here. Remembering to breathe. Inhale. Maybe you lengthen a little more. Exhale. Maybe you try to deepen just a touch. Just using that exhale. And then nice and slow, maybe pressing into your leg. Come all the way up. Excellent. Line those shoulders forward. Heart nice and forward. Beautiful. Nice big inhale. Really lengthen. Exhale. Soften. Roll the shoulders back and down. Let's inhale. Sweep those arms up. Exhale. Release. Stay nice and strong. This time, we're just reaching our left arm towards our left toes. So coming into more of the side bend variation, even if you just drop the elbow down, right arm can go up and overhead or hang out on the hip. Now I'm a little teapot behind the head or the neck, maybe even reaching to that little part on the back. And just starting to feel this through the right side of the body. Roll those shoulders away from the ears. Find that nice length. Working at releasing any of that gunk stuck on the rib cage. Lots of times those muscles, that fascia, can be a little bit bound or seized up. This is a great way to work into that. Not holding the side bend for as long. But we will take one more nice big inhale. Maybe lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, maybe you soften. Reach a little farther. Then see if you can press yourself all the way up using all those nice, strong back muscles. Reach it up. Oh, so tall. Pull the hands to heart center. Beautiful. Getting ready to switch towards the other side. So if you've got left leg now extended nice and long. Nope. It's your right leg. 'Cause I did mirrorsies with the opposites of you. So just extending the other side or keeping both legs nice and extended. If you need to adjust them, you can bring them a little closer together if that's starting to get sore on those hips. Or if you want more of a challenge, you can bring them even farther apart. Just be mindful. Listen to what your body needs. Hi, doggy. Put my dog with my little foot here. All right, let's inhale. Sweep those arms up. Find that length. Let's exhale. Align the shoulders with that extended leg, that right leg. Take another big inhale, breath, find even more length through the crown of the head, leading with the heart. Exhale, start to fold forward, coming into that wide-legged side forward fold as we're going towards one leg. Taking a moment, starting off really nice and slow and gentle. Not overly adding depth into it. Maybe you notice this more on the low back. Maybe you notice that through the hamstring. Keeping the legs wide here is working those inner thighs, which there's not tons of poses for. There's a good amount for hamstrings and quads, not lots for calves. Like you can incorporate it, but usually you need props for that. As you settle into this, maybe you start to feel some more release. You can always adjust and deepen. Or if you started out a little too strong and holding it for too much time is not what you want, then you can always soften. Just building that constant awareness every moment. What does the body need? Remembering your breath. Taking a moment, noticing, are you really just rounding and hunching through the shoulders? A little moment, let's come out a little bit, roll those shoulders back and down, leading with the heart, leading with that sternum. Keep finding that length there. Keep trying to roll right shoulder back, left forward. Maybe that deepens into that twist. Taking some time to enjoy the silence, even if there's other noise happening around and off of your mat. Can you just harness the stillness, the silence within your own self? If you have lots of thoughts popping into your mind, the challenge is to not interact with them. Just let them be like clouds, let them float on by. Not changing the cloud, not molding it, not telling it where it should go. Just let it drift off. Beautiful. One more nice big inhale, really fill the lungs. Exhale, maybe sink a little deeper. Nice and slowly, maybe hand over hand, starting to come up. Untwisting, rolling those shoulders back and down. Let's inhale, sweep those arms up, reach it up, oh so nice and tall. And exhale, reaching right hand for right toes, or just down the body, just getting into that side bend. So even if you've got, I like to bring the elbow to the inside of the leg, that'll force that top arm open a little bit. So even if you're hanging out here, it's a beautiful side stretch. Maybe you can reach those top toes or top fingers all the way to the toes. Just let it feel really good as we take a couple of breaths here, remembering to breathe. Working with those side ribs, working nice and strong. Hand can go up to the ceiling, can tuck behind the back, hand on the hip, hand behind the head. Really just play around with where you want the arm. See if you can roll those shoulders away from the ears, extend that head out. Connecting with that breath. Beautiful. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, maybe you deepen ever so slightly. Might just be a millimeter, might not even be noticeable. And then exhale, release, come all the way back up. If you've had both legs extended this entire time, let's move oh so slowly. Bringing the feet a little bit closer together, still extending nice and long. Feel that maybe release even starting there. Excellent. Let's make our way into a nice little cobbler pose. Bring the soles of the feet to touch. Maybe you start by just bringing the knees in. Maybe you're feeling all sorts of release through the hips, the blood flow returning, those inner thighs. And then when you're ready, take your time. So you can even just start here and then just letting the knees melt open. Just a quick little cobbler. If you had one leg extended and then the other leg, just work it into those inner thighs. Lift the heart. Roll those shoulders back and down. Take your time here. Beautiful. Nice big inhale. And an exhale. You can fold forward if you want more. Or I'm just going to stay up. I'm actually just kind of liking what I'm feeling here. It feels good. Beautiful. One more nice big inhale. Nice full exhale. Let's bring those knees back up. And roll down onto our backs. Flat twist around here. Roll it down. And keep those knees bent, feet planted. Roll those shoulders back and down. Feel all of that length. Nice tuck of the chin. Beautiful. So just a nice twist. If you have a favorite twist, go ahead and do that one. I'm just gonna go through what's the most gentle one. Reaching those arms out, either reaching out long or coming into cactus. And hover the knees over the feet and drop the knees down towards one side. Try to keep both shoulder blades planted in. The more you roll onto the hip, the deeper the twist will be. You can even bring the hand on top of the legs. Maybe the gaze goes the opposite direction of the feet. See if you can relax. Notice if you're clenching through any muscles, especially in that low back area. Can you soften and melt in towards the mat? Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Maybe side out. Excellent. Turn the neck to neutral. Release the knee. If you have a little bind, swing the knees up. And come over towards the opposite side. Dropping the knees down. Gaze goes opposite the knees. Maybe hand comes on top just to add a little weight in, getting a little more stretch through that top hip. A little more into that T-band. Take a little moment. Got a little puppy dog, pet your puppy dog. Seeing if you can soften and melt a little deeper. Beautiful. Nice big inhale. Exhale, maybe side out. Let's take one more. Inhale. Let it go. Release. Return the head to neutral. Release legs. Bring them up. Hug them in towards the chest. Maybe reach on through for that nice happy baby. Feet go up towards the ceiling. Knees naturally draw inwards towards the body. You can add that little resistance if you really want to get into that spine. Pull into the feet, press, kick into the hands, extend long through the crown of the head. Feel all those little adjustments that might happen through the spine. Outstanding. Well, here is our freestyle portion of the class. So if there's another pose or movement your body is craving, go ahead and play around into that. Maybe you want a little bridge posture. Maybe you want a little waterfall. Just sensing into what your body needs before your final Shavasana. Just getting out any of those other movements. You want that another good morning stretch. Taking your time to play around, enjoy the movements, And then when you're ready, and only when you're ready, settling into your Shavasana, whatever pose that looks like, whether you want the traditional or you want to explore something different, take what you need. Whatever pose you find yourself in for your final Shavasana, I do encourage you to take 10 solid breaths, breathing in nice and deep, not just filling the lungs, but breathing into the abdomen, feeling the movement of breath that happens on the inhale, and noticing how the body responds to the exhale. Taking a number of those, 10, 15, 20, whatever it is you need this morning, this evening, whenever you're doing it, to settle in, to let it go, maybe to have some compassion for yourself, maybe to become more aware of yourself, some of those things we talked about this morning. What are the expectations? What piece of the puzzle or what side of the elephant are you looking at or touching onto? Can you start to see the bigger picture and take time to see the bigger picture? That's what it's all about. So I thank you so very much for joining me today. I hope you have just a lovely rest of your day. I pray that you find joy in every moment and that you are always blessed. Thank you and namaste. Beautiful. Excellent. Yes, puppy.